Hello viewers, and welcome back to another 1E teamwork build. Today we're focusing on the Inspire Rage ability from the Skald. Let's dive in. This build will focus on two things. One is giving our allies the most amount of strength and con we can due to our Inspired Rage. The second is giving our allies fast healing from the same ability. I'll get to how we do that later, but keep in mind, this build will not work well in all parties. If your party is mostly spellcasters, this build will not work well. Obviously, this build works best when the party is mostly melee fighters. Moving on, our race for this build is going to be a half-orc, mainly so that we can take our first feat, which I'll get to in a bit. We're also going to be picking up 1 level in Blood Rager, and 19 levels in Totemic Skald. With Totemic Skald, we'll need to pick an animal. Then at 3rd level, we'll able to give the Hunter's Animal Focus ability with that animal to all of our allies. We're going to want to pick up Bull as our animal, since that animal focus will give us a bunch of strength. This will be +2 at 3rd, +4 at 8th, and +8 at 15th. With Totemic Skald, we'll also be able to improve the attitude of bulls and cast Charm Animals on bulls. In addition, we'll also be able to wild shape into bulls. But that first one is the one we care about the most. But we still want to take 19 levels in Totemic Skald so that we can give our allies even more strength. Our first trait for this build is going to be Reactionary. This will give us a +2 bonus on initiative checks. We want to give our allies that huge strength and con bonus as soon as possible, so going first is going to help a lot. Then we'll pick up Desperate Focus. This will give us a +2 trait bonus on concentrate checks. We're going to gain a little bit more of a strength and con bonus than our allies are. That means we want to be in melee. So sometimes we may have to cast some of our Skald spells while in melee. That means we're going to have to cast defensively. So getting a +2 to concentrate checks is really going to help us get those spells off. For our ability scores, our most important is going to be Charisma, followed by Strength and Constitution, then Dexterity and Wisdom, and finally our least important stat is going to be Intelligence. Okay, now let's talk about Rage Powers. However, instead of our first Rage Power, we're actually going to be picking up Bloodline Familiar. And we specifically want a Valet Familiar. This is mainly to give our Familiar all of our teamwork feats. We're only going to be taking 1 teamwork feat for this build, and it's our first feat. But in order to use it, we need at least 1 person to have it. So this will make sure that we can actually use that feat. Then we'll need Lesser, Normal, and Greater Beast Totem. The one we really care about is Greater Beast Totem, but the other 2 are prerequisites, so we need both of those. This will give everyone in the party the Pounce special ability, allowing them to make a full attack after a charge. Then we'll want to pick up the Knockdown Rage Power. This will allow all our party members to make a trip attempt in place of a melee attack. If successful, the target takes damage equal to our party member's strength modifier. This includes the strength bonus they gain from our Raging Song. The target is also knocked prone. This will force them to get up on their next turn, which of course will provoke an attack of opportunity from all allies in melee range, including ourselves. And then our last rage power for this build is going to be Swift Foot. This is especially going to be helpful if you've got a tank in the party. This will give all allies a +5 enhancement bonus to their speed. Alright, it's finally time for feats. Our first feat is why we need to be a half-orc and why we need the familiar. With the Amplified Rage feat, whenever we are raging and we're next to an ally that is raging who also has this feat, or if we're flanking with one of those allies, then the morale bonus from raging to our strength and constitution increases by 4. This feat does not stack with itself. So you only gain this bonus from 1 qualifying ally no matter how many are adjacent to you. Next up is Skald's Vigor. While we're maintaining our Raging Song, we gain fast healing equal to the amount of strength bonus our song provides. If we stop maintaining the song, then the fast healing ends, even if the other effects of the song persist. Truly, this only affects us for now. But later on, we're going to take a feat that makes this apply to all of our allies as well. Our next feat is going to be Extreme Mood Swings. This will increase any morale bonuses we gain by 1. Unfortunately, we do also take a -1 penalty against fear and emotion effects. If we are drunk or worse, the bonus and penalty from this feat double. Extra performance will give us 6 extra rounds of rage per day. I would think it'd be pretty obvious why we're taking this feat, but it's also a prerequisite for the next feat in this build. And that is Master Performer. This will increase the bonuses from our Raging Song by 1. It includes our Strength and Con bonus, as well as our Fast Healing. And then we can finally pick up Greater Skald's Vigor. This is essentially Skald's Vigor, except our allies gain the Fast Healing as well. Starting in the round that you begin your Raging Song, they must be able to hear the performance to gain this benefit. And of course, if you stop maintaining the song, the Fast Healing ends, even if other effects of the song would linger. This will be a great supplement to any type of healer in the party. Then we're going to want to pick up Combat Casting. Again, we're going to have so much strength that we want to be in melee, even though we're not going to be taking any feats that'll help us with our melee attacks. However, we're also a Skald. That means we have spells. So we need to be better at casting spells defensively. This feat will give us a +4 on concentration checks made to cast spells defensively. This will stack with our Desperate Focus traits. So all in all, we get a +6 bonus to cast spells defensively. Extremely helpful for when one of your allies needs that Cast Grace. Weapon Focus will give us a +1 bonus to hit for one weapon type. Since it really doesn't matter what type of weapon you use for this build, just pick whatever type of weapon you want to use for this build. Having a +1 to hit is always good, and we need this for the next feat on the list anyway. Okay, we got 2 feats left, and the first one is going to be Dazzling Display. With this feat, as a full round action, we can demoralize all foes within 30 feet that can see us. This will allow our party to hit even higher AC opponents, assuming they're not immune to fear, that is. And the last feat we need for this build is Intimidating Performance. We're going to be able to use our Raging Song as a swift action, since we're a level 19 Skald. So this feat will allow us to use a standard action to demoralize a foe. And we can use Perform instead of Intimidate. Also, because we have Dazzling Display, we can roll Performance for that as well. And we can use it as part of our Raging Song. This of course means we don't have to have very many ranks in Intimidation. We can put everything into Performance and still be able to use Dazzling Display to frighten our foes. Now of course, there are some magic items that we need to cover for this build. The first magic item you will definitely need for this build is 3 Reasons to Live. Once per day, this horn can be blown to affect all allies within 30 feet that can hear it. Affected allies gain resistance 10 to sonic damage, and a +2 bonus on saving throws against effects that deal sonic damage, are language dependent, or must be heard to be effective. This protection lasts for 10 minutes. In addition, if a bard uses the horn to start a bardic performance, or in our case, a Raging Song, since Raging Song counts as bardic performance, all effects of that performance are treated as though we were 6 levels higher. That right there is the important part. With this item, we're treated as level 15 when we're level 9 when it comes to our Raging Song. Next, we're going to want to pick up the Hero's Hauberk. The damage reduction of this +1 adamantine chain shirt stacks with any other damage reduction we possess. In addition, while we're maintaining our Raging Song, we gain the benefits of Light Fortification as well. We also receive a +1 bonus on ability checks and skill checks made while maintaining our Raging Song. Also, any penalties to attack rolls, ability checks, skill checks, and saving throws are reduced by 1. If a die roll has multiple penalties, the total is reduced by 1, not each individual penalty. This of course will give us some bonuses while we're maintaining our Raging Song. We want to help our allies, but we also want to help ourselves. And this will help with that. Artistic Ale is how we'll take advantage of our extreme mood swings. For 6 hours after drinking this, we gain a +2 alchemical bonus to our bluff and performance checks. In addition, during this time, we treat our level as one higher for the purpose of determining the effects of our raging song. Unfortunately, we also take a -2 penalty on certain other skills for the same duration. Next up is the Poet's Cloak. This will allow us to use the 4th level version of Inspire Courage and Inspire Confidence by using rounds of Raging Song. In addition, each cloak has a specific rage power tied to it. We can grant this rage power instead of our other rage powers. This must be usable by a 4th level Skald and can't have any other prerequisites besides level. This could be very useful if you get the right rage power on it. In addition, this is mainly to help our party with skill checks outside of combat. This item is another reason why we're taking extra performance. And finally, you will want to pick up the lesser and greater versions of the Mask of Giants. Both these items allow you to transform into different giants. Both of these give certain abilities that the giant you transform into has, as well as a size bonus to strength, a size penalty to dexterity, and a natural armor bonus. The greater version of the Mask of Giants also gives a size bonus to Constitution. Keep in mind that all these bonuses to strength stack. Raging Song is a morale bonus, the Animal Focus is an enhancement bonus, and the Mask of Giants is a size bonus. You should also think about getting some of the other melee attackers in your party some of these items, especially the Mask of Giants here. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Pathfinder 1 and 2e teamwork content. Don't forget to check out my new shorts as well. Remember, teamwork is vital, and I'll see you guys next time.